The pantograph has not just one job, really, to maintain that contact with the wire overhead. But it is quite an important job because lose that contact and you lose power, which would be inconvenient.
Worse, you might damage the train. If the pantograph loses contact, it causes an arc. In the safety of a high-voltage lab, an arc looks very pretty.
Woo! So what are we seeing here?
So this is something called a Jacob's ladder, and we're making a high-voltage arc which is travelling up.
Arcing happens when there's a break in a high-voltage circuit. In a Jacob's ladder, there's a gap in the circuit between the two poles. The voltage is so high that it turns the gap into plasma, superheated air. And plasma is very hot, close to 10,000 degrees C, making arcs very dangerous indeed.
That's arcing that we're looking at.
Exactly, so that's what would happen if the pantograph moved away from the actual wire.
Arcing does happen on normal trains. Here, icy overhead wires are breaking the circuit. But the higher the voltage, the more arcing is a problem. In this demonstration, I'm going to play the pantograph to see what happens to my paper train when the connection is broken.
So this is a demonstration of the potential bad side of high voltage.
Yeah, so the copper bar is at high voltage, and if
Yeah.
you touch that pole to it and move it away, you'll make a high voltage arc.
Okay. There we go. But when it gets near to things... Aha! Yeah, straight away that's... Do you know, I can see the downside there. What's happened is it set fire to my train quite badly.
Okay, so it's no surprise that the plasma arc ignites a paper train, but it can also damage a real train and its overhead wires. To prevent damage that could take whole lines out of action, the engineers needed a pantograph that would not lose contact with the overhead wire.
And the key to their solution lies in this. It's just a crowbar. Well, a lever. And used in the right way, it can keep the pantograph pressing against the wire no matter what.
Which is a good thing, because you really don't want to mess about with dodgy connections and massively powerful electrical supplies.